He's so cute.
Tror du?
It's here! It's here! I really didn't know if it was gonna be at 1 p.m. or not for me. I'm so excited. I'm scattered. Hi dolls! Welcome back, and if you are new, hello, my name is Jessie, and today we're going to react to Season 3, Episode 6, the season and series finale of Young Royals. I am so excited to be here. We did a live stream on Saturday. Thank you for everybody that jumped into the live stream and had conversations and asked questions, and it was so much fun. We did it for about an hour and a half, which normally I'd do longer, but I was actually talking so much that I started to lose my voice. And I was like, all right, we gotta cut it here. So that was so much fun. It got me so amped up for this finale. I cannot wait to see what happens next. It is 57 minutes long, so a little longer than normal. And then we have Young Royals Forever after. Now, I am going to definitely be reacting to Young Royals Forever, the oh, it's about an hour, the little documentary. I don't know if I'm going to be editing it for YouTube, but I probably will. But if you don't see it drop right away, that's why. And I was thinking maybe we'll do another live stream this week. Maybe. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments. But I don't want to talk anymore. I want to see what happened. I heard from so many people in the live stream that the interviews that the actors were giving were saying that it is bananas. So let's jump in, but before we do, don't forget to throw a like or dislike if you do or do not like what you see, but comment down below. Let me know why. Subscribe if you have not yet. We do fun things here. Ring a link to be notified when I upload new videos, and don't forget to check the link down in the description for my Patreon. It is $5 a month. That's only $1.25 a week. It is all of my unedited reactions of everything that I do on YouTube. In addition to more, don't forget to follow us on all social media at @star_chef_productions or Jessie Dobbie for Twitter. The link is in the description below for the Redbubble page where you can find your hilarious sweatshirts and phone cases and hats and all stickers, all that good stuff. So go check it out. Young Royals seasons 1, 2, and now 3, because it's ending, are fully unedited over on Patreon. I started blinking during that because I got something in my eye, but I didn't want to lose my mojo of what I was saying. Without further ado, this is my official reaction to Season 3, Episode 6, the series finale of Young Royals. I'm so sad that it's ending, but I'm so excited. So we're starting off real happy.
Så han bara lämnar.
Fudge.
Sov inte eller någonting.
Forgot my tissues.
Det känns som att ni aldrig någonsin är helt över.
Yeah.
Vet inte, du skulle sett hans ansikte.
Åh.
Jag menar det verkligen. Jag måste ta ansvar för mina problem. Jag kan inte förstöra honom på köpet.
This is freaking me. Oh my god, it really... I'm like, he sounds different, but I think it's just because his heart is like... ripped out of him. So they're broken up.
Har du kunnat sova någonting?
My babies are so sad. That's totally a cozy breakup sweater. I'm so glad that they fixed things before this happened, because damn, does he need her right now.
Blir pappa här?
What?
Förlåt, jag älskar er. Jag vill att du tar bilen. Upptäck världen.
Om du var besviken.
It was nice seeing the
Du
happy
vågar
times
ju
and having
ge
those
människor en andra
moments.
chans. Det är ju modigt.
Eller bara dumt.
Vissa människor kanske aldrig blir helt bra. Men det betyder inte att man inte behöver dem.
What about him though? How's he gonna get to meetings, say? So we're probably not gonna get a conversation with Dad, but I feel like that was a nice conversation between the two of them.
Sara, vet du vad Simon är?
Han är hemma. Han skolkar.
Det är så att Skolinspektionen har tagit ett beslut. De har gett Hillerska verksamhetsförbud.
Hillerska har fått flera val genom 10 år än om det har blivit.
Why did that never even occur to me? They blatantly said it in the first episode, and I was like, ooh, that's a serious threat. And then, oh my god, my phone. That is what I was talking about with Vincent when he was like, oh, it's over now. And I was like, it's not over. It is not over, because they wouldn't make him say that.
Att man inte agerat
kraftfullt nog för att stoppa de systematiska kränkningarna.
Oh my God, they're gonna blame
nog. De har tagit bort
police.
allt som är kul.
Du höll ett jävla tal och nu ska hela skolan stänga.
Oh
Det måste
yeah,
vara
it
ett
had
jävla
nothing to do
rekord,
with the
alltså.
30 things you did,
Det
Vincent.
sitter ju i väggarna. Ja, det sitter i väggarna alltså.
Men det är inte jag. De säger att det är fler och det har ju gått över typ så här 10 år så har de fått varningar. Jag har inte sagt det.
August is like, shut
Tysta!
Yes.
Tysta!
Take control, August.
Sluta skyll på varandra! Kan vi bara få fucking ledsna? Tappade lite.
A bit.
Alltså vi är ledsna allihop.
Det innebär också att ni kommer behöva vara tvungna att tömma era rum.
Oh, boo-hoo! How are you all gonna get out of this one? See, I feel bad for people like Felice. Yeah, it's like a nightmare. Oh, repercussions suck, doesn't it? It sucks for the good people who didn't partake in any of the BS or do stupid stuff like Vincent.
Du har ju ändå alltid velat bo i en större stad och jag är ju släkt i Göteborg.
Men vad då? Ni kan ju bara börja i Marieberg, eller?
Exakt.
Yeah, you'll be leaving your friends.
Vadå? Är det här någon flykt från Ville eller?
Allt påminner om honom ändå.
Oh, it was a big relationship. You can't just run.
Vad säger mamma och pappa liksom?
Jag ska verkligen försöka se till att de kan närvara på skolavslutningen.
You'll try? Yeah, hang up. Just hang up. I'm sick of their too. This is like a huge thing that's happening to him, and they're like, oh.
Skål för Hillis.
Hillis.
Skål för
So
Hillis.
clearly they took nothing that he said to heart or paid attention at all.
Vi ser någon jävla fest.
Jag menar, vi har en massa dricka kvar från middagen.
Let's prove everyone right that we are degenerates.
Det är begravningsstämnings. Jag är Willes reserv. Du var med, men du hade ju inget ansvar.
Det kunde ju bara glassa runt.
Exakt. Festa i kulisserna och...
Fy fan vad deppigt, August. Alltså man vill ju vara nära kungligheterna, men man vill inte vara en.
It's like everything he's always wanted. He thought they were gonna be like, that's so cool. They're like, dude, that blows. Maybe August didn't want it as bad as I thought he did. It's like he realized what Willem actually goes through and how much he doesn't want that.
Hej.
This is awkward. I just want to address the C-Mon issue. My Jersey and chaos got into my brain. It's C-Mon. I'm gonna try to remember that.
Hur mår du?
My Jersey gets in the way.
Jag är tom. Och rädd. Allt här har ju inte direkt varit bra, men det har ju betytt mycket.
That felt so cold. Why did that feel so cold coming from him? He is being vulnerable.
Jag vill bara säga att det är som...
Tja! Vad ska ni ha på er ikväll? För att jag har liksom på riktigt rensat ut hela min Okej.
Jag vet inte heller om jag kan komma.
Nej, men lägg av. Ni två måste komma. Det kommer bli skitnice. Vi har
Get
fixat...
the here.
Vi
Go
har
away!
fixat sprit.
Så illa är det väl ändå inte?
Förlorat mitt livs kärlek och jag har fått hela skolan att stänga och jag har sagt alla saker jag inte borde säga till min mamma. Nej, du har rätt, det är nog fan inte så illa.
I så fall borde du verkligen försöka släppa loss. Le Blanc.
I don't feel
Det var sista
good.
kväll.
Does anybody else feel like a pit in their chest?
Partyprinsen. Okej, kom igen. Vi måste byta om det. För att det här... Jag kan alltid köra kung fu med vakterna annars.
Kung fu.
Malin, kan du komma in? Så här, jag kommer gå på den här festen ikväll. Och jag vet att Erik gjorde värre saker på sin tid. Jag slipper smita härifrån. Det är win-win. Okej?
Fair enough. Either have a little bit of closeness or I'm just gonna book it out the window. I like the little line drop of I know Eric did worse things in his day.
Känner du att du har sagt allt du vill säga och verkligen fått ett avslut så behöver du inte gå.
Hur vet man det? Tänk om du aldrig mer får se
You
Ville.
feel like there's nothing left. Oh.
Skål.
It's gonna be an interesting conversation.
Sista litet farväl.
They're saying goodbye to Hilariska. We're saying goodbye to Hilariska. This is weird.
Ledsen. Väldigt ledsen. Att det var Erik som gjorde det. Massa andra inblandade. Det är ändå inte okej. Erik hade älskat dig oavsett vad. Så ledsen. För allt. Förlåt, Wille. Tack.
parallel too that I didn't even, as dumb as this sounds maybe, I didn't even think of. August having to experience being made fun of for potentially watching a video of two men, and then having year later, or 2 years later, well, it would have been 3 years later, persecuting Willem for doing what he was shamed for looking at. The fact that they used that and they like made these kids think like you're disgusting, you're a loser, you're nothing if you like that. And then him being like, "Oh, perfect. This is what I've been taught into being shameful of, and this is what the Crown Prince is doing. I can get him for this." You could almost, in a weird way, say that August did what he did because of Eric. Them two have both just said that to each other is a big step in their relationships.
Du behöver inte ljuga om varför du är här.
Jag ljuger inte.
Så du har inte känslor för honom?
Jag har känslor för August. Jag har starkare, viktigare känslor för dig.
Åh.
Minns du när du hjälpte mig att spy här?
Det var den bästa dagen i mitt liv.
Du sa att du tyckte att mitt hår var fint när det lockade sig. De andra tjejerna fattade inte att jag gick upp 1 timme tidigare för att platta och fixa håret. Jag tror att det är mitt fel att skolan ska stängas.
No, it's not. Don't you even dare.
Skolinspektionen. Så jag berättar verkligen allt.
Yeah, well, maybe that wasn't a bad thing. You protected people.
Och varför skulle du ljuga?
So it's getting there. I like how they're not like making everything perfect. Wait, what?
Vem släppte in er? Fucking upp eller?
Nej. Ta det lugnt.
What a bitch. Stella and Frederica. I was all like, I want to see them start their thing. Go yourselves though.
Jag måste säga en grej. Ja? Men då får ni fan inte skratta, okej? Jag ligger med killar.
Varför skulle vi skratta? Varför har du inte sagt någonting?
Because you're an Vincent redeemed himself a minuscule amount for me with that conversation.
August, det är över.
Because she thinks she's
För
moving?
det är inte vad jag vill.
What? Really? Are you sure, Sarah?
Du ser mig.
Du är kär i den du blir med mig. Det är inte samma sak.
Jag kan göra vad som helst. Vi åker iväg. Vi kan fly till en...
Nej.
I don't believe it's what she really
Kan inte-
wants, but I see
vända om
her
jag kan.
point.
Det kommer gå över.
Oh my god, I don't like that. That was like the one thing I wasn't even anticipating. She does make a good point. Around her and the perceives around everybody else is very different.
Kan vi inte bara skita i allt som har hänt? Bara för ikväll. Inget kungahus, ingen prins, ingen sosse, inget drama.
I don't know, you and Raj
Inget
look
då.
like some drama might start.
Ingenting sen.
Jag gillar det.
Oh my god, is he gonna give him his present? Remember he was gonna give him a present?
Jag kommer få så mycket skit av Malin när jag kommer tillbaka.
Well, Malin should have been watching you better. What the hell?
Jag minns den dagen.
I don't feel like they're getting back together.
Jag trodde att det skulle vara vi.
Det har varit fint. När det var vi var det fint.
I was like, is that kid dead? The kid in the library. He made it to the party. It is a song. Will's song. He finished it. I just stopped crying.
Låt dem se dig som du är. Det var aldrig vi som var fel. Jag hoppas du någon gång når dit och får vara du. Ska inte vara en revolution att älska någon annan.
He fixed the words. gonna do something.
Kanske jag borde tagit
I hope you can get to be yourself when you're gonna be free. He's gonna do something.
I see.
Besitos.
Bye, Linda.
Vincent av Klintskog. Kampen om Hillerskas framtid är långt ifrån över. Och för att hedra våra avgångsstudenter så sjunger vi tillsammans Hillysången.
It's his song! Jag var lost innan, jag kan aldrig glömma. He didn't get to play! Lever alla minnen kvar. Om jag såg dig här idag, inom dig Christina.
Du hade rätt. Jag fanns inte där när du behövde mig. Borde ha sökt hjälp mycket tidigare, men nu har jag gjort det och jag finnas där för dig nu.
Oh, good.
Kan du förlåta mig, Wille?
I think I have to, you're the queen. Dad's like, I just go along with whatever your mom says. I feel like throwing up right now. Yes, go get your man!
Förlåt. Jag älskar den. Att allt var förgäves. Att vi gav upp.
That we gave up. He's like, boy, you still do not understand my song.
Jag gav upp på kungahuset.
You understand that, you get that, right?
Hej då, Simon.
I hate this! It's so true though, and Willem's gotta understand that by now, right? Like, he didn't give up on them, he gave up on the royal family.
The taxi will be here in 5 minutes, okay?
It's gonna be like, Ma, Dad, I don't want it. August can have it. August is gonna be like, no! I don't want it.
Var ska du någonstans?
Hem.
Jag har kompisar som slänger pengar på problemet istället för att lyssna. Jag behövde någon som jag kunde vara ärlig med. Och det är inte alltid så lätt med dem.
Exactly what I said.
Fast du har ju bil. Då kan man ju åka någon annanstans.
Wanna go get coffee?
Ja, vi har stopp framför oss. Vi avvaktar. Jag är så stolt över dig.
Är vi båda.
He's like, you might not say that in about 10 minutes.
En dag kommer du att bli en fantastisk kung, jag vet det.
Vad händer om jag inte vill det? Men ni har också inte låtit mig ha en ärlig konversation om det här. Vi har inte valt. Ingen har valt. Folket har inte valt. Jag brukade tro att Erik i alla fall var lycklig, men jag tror inte han var det. Jag vill inte det här. Då är det där din arvtagare. Jag förstår att ni är besvikna, men...
It is! I mean...
Jag älskar det.
Låt honom gå!
Let him go. August is like, holy shit. This is happening. Ah, run! Damn, that boy can run! He's on the rowing team, not the track team. Stop that car, motherfucker! What are you doing? Stop the car! Don't... No! I was like, dude, he is like really fucking it. Say yes to me, I left them.
Jag vill inte vara kung. Jag sa precis det till mamma.
She's in a weakened state, so she's fine with it.
För min skull. Jag vill vara med dig, Simon. Jag är säker på att du är över mig.
He's so cute.
Vad tror du?
Oh, yay! Ah, Lisa's there! Oh, they ended it like they started it. They're so cute. They're like little puppy dogs. All right, there you have it. The series finale of Young Royals. So good. It was so good. It honestly, there's one thing, and it's not even like a very big thing. One thing that I wish kind of happened differently but I almost understand why it happened that way, and I'll get to that. And it honestly has nothing to do with Willem and Simon. It was perfect. I honestly can't think of anything that I would change except for this one thing. Like, so we have everything had closure. Everything had closure. We have Willem and August having a conversation. A lot of people were like, I don't know if we're gonna get that. What happened between them was so huge. So it's like, I don't know if that could be forgiven. I don't know if August could give a good enough apology for it to be forgiven. And so what they did was very smart. They gave them both something to not only sympathize with, but kind of understand each other's situation, right? So you have Willem, who experienced this horrible thing of having this video spread around him and having this secret come out about him and having it be by the hands of August, someone who he not like completely trusted, but trusted, you know? And then you have August, who went through this horrible hazing, who got, you know, insulted and made fun of and completely like traumatized, aside from having the video at all, but having to be stripped down naked in front of all of these people. It's like two very similar things. Like, a lot of people saw Willem in a vulnerable state. A lot of people saw August in a vulnerable state. And I personally think that what happened to Willem was worse and more deceitful because he was taking the video and handing it to the world, as to where what they did with August was not right, but it was on a smaller scale, and it wasn't as vulnerable as what, like, Willem was like full on performing sex with somebody else. August wasn't. It's very, very similar situations, but it just shows you how things can escalate. Like, hurt people, right? So when you hurt someone like that and you do something like that in that way, it will escalate into what August did to Willem to a certain extent. And for them to both kind of understand that and apologize. I mean, I at first I was like, where's this going with Willem? When he's like, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And I was like, what is he talking about? For him to understand what it feels like to be in a situation like that, and how lost and scared and alone and just hurt you must feel. For him to sympathize enough with August to be like, I'm sorry that you went through that, was a huge, huge step. For him to do that in return to Willem is something that we needed to see more of, to be honest with you. I mean, he apologized, and I said this, he apologized, but you literally keep apologizing until you can't speak anymore for something like that. But I think it got to the point where Willem was like getting annoyed with it, where it's like, I don't want you to apologize to me, I don't want you in my face. So again, for them to both have that conversation and apologize to each other and just like give each other the nod, like, yeah, like, we're good, we're not perfect, but we're on our way there. Like, we're not fully accepting, but we're on our way to at least understanding more so of what each other is feeling, and truly believing that he was sorry, truly believing that the apology that was given was an apology. We have a conversation with Felice and with Sarah, where she's like, Frederica said she saw you kissing August. Like, that's why you're here. It's not to make up with me. And she was like, yes, it is. I have feelings for August, but my feelings for you are stronger and more important and more special. I thought that was so sweet, because it's like, you, like, what I had with August was special and was nice, but with you were my first real friend. You were the first person that ever truly understood me and who saw me and who made me feel like I could be myself and was understood. That trumps any relationship that I could possibly be in. And I like that it's enforced, you know, later on, again, when they have the second conversation, where it's like, oh, like, you know, your car and you can go anywhere you want. And we see that Felice is supposed to go on that trip, the New York trip with the girls, with Stella and Frederica and Madison. and she chooses to leave with Sarah instead. I thought that she was going to be like, you want to go get coffee or you want to go do something? But I like how they made the reveal happen later on. Like, that felt like it was like an extra oomph of like excitement where it's like Felice gets out of the car and you're like, oh, she did go. Like, she chose to go with her true friend over a fancy, flashy New York trip. I love that. And I love that she basically said exactly what I was saying in the other episode, where it's like, I want a friend who's going to listen to me, not a friend who's going to throw money at the problem. Like, I want them to hear me and understand where I'm coming from and why I'm upset. She says the thing where she's like, I had to get up an hour earlier just to fix my hair and straighten and do my hair. They don't understand that. And then she tried to talk to them about that and open up about that section of her life. They were just like, oh, hair. Like, they didn't get it and they didn't try to get it. And so I'm just so happy that they made up as friends. I am a little in shock, to be honest with you, that they did not have August end up with Sarah. And that's not what I'm upset about, but I mean, I'm upset about it, but I get it. I just really wanted them to be together. But I understand what Sarah said, where it's like, when you're with me, you're a different person than when you're with anybody else. I see who you are, but you don't see who I am. And you need to figure out who you want to be and what person you want to be, and be that 100% of the time, not just play a role when you're with me. So I just, oh my God, it breaks my heart where she kisses him and she's like, it'll pass. Like, and she had just told Felice, like, I do have feelings for August. So it's not that she doesn't have feelings for him. It's just that she sees that it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. What they have and where they are and who August is and where he's going and the direction that he's taking his life and all, it's not going to work at this moment in time. So I hope, like, it's one of those things where maybe in the future they will, but it broke my heart because we had spent, and there were other people in the live stream too that agreed, like, a good, like, 15 minutes just, like, goo gaga over how cute August and Sarah were. And someone put it really perfectly, where it was like they're two, like, broken pieces that just, like, when they're together fit right. Like, they're both so broken when they're around other people, but they both understand each other and see each other. And ironically, that is what Sarah said was the reason for her not wanting to continue the relationship. You don't see me. Oh jeez. I'm a mess. You don't see me as well as, like, I thought you did. And I guess she's right. It just breaks my heart. Like, I really wanted to see a happy ending for the two of them. I feel like everybody had decently happy endings except for August. Niece comes out to Vincent and August, and Vincent shockingly is like, why would we laugh at something like that? I feel like they had Vincent be such an asshole that they were like, we're either gonna have to, like, destroy him or make him seem like a half decent person, make him seem like one of those people that is like, oh, he's just stupid and needs to learn how to react and behave in front of people or something like that, because he's just like, oh, like, of course we accept you, we're gonna find you a boyfriend, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, shocked that Vincent would have that kind of response, but okay. So that, I guess, was nice. But I'm glad that Niece got to say that. But we have a conversation with Niece and August and Vincent in regards to August being Willem's second. And I thought they knew this. I don't remember, like, why I guess he's not allowed to say, maybe, I don't know, but for some reason I thought they knew this. Apparently they didn't, and they're like, this sucks, that really really sucks. And it's like, he's wanted this his whole life, like, he's happy that this is a thing, but they're like, man, like, you got to be a part of the royal family and not have any obligations, party and do whatever you want, and, like, you know, you didn't have to worry about, like, behaving. And the thing is, though, like, you could see the look on August's face where he's like, oh my God, they're right. Did I just completely screw myself? Like, they're right. I totally didn't have any obligations, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna have all these responsibilities. But at the same time, I feel like August never really wanted, like, August was never really like a partier. He was never really a drinker. Like, he would have fun with his friends, but I felt like he was just doing it to be a part of the crew. You know, to be like a part of like the friends group and to look cool. And I don't think he ever really liked that lifestyle. But I think now that he's being told, or realizing at least, like, oh wait, I can't have it if I wanted it. It didn't seem like he really wanted it. Was it just me? Because then again, at the end where they're on the float and he sees Willem get out of the car and he's looking at him run away, and he's like the look on his face, I thought it was gonna go more into like a smile, like, yeah, it's happening, I'm gonna be king. He was looking at Willem run away like, fuck, it's happening sooner than I thought it would. I don't know, I just felt like at the end of it all, like, August was like, he lost his girl. He realized that he didn't want this the position, and was like hysterically crying because Halerska was destroyed. That was the biggest surprise. I can't believe that I didn't predict that. Like, I didn't think of saying that, like, Halerska would be closing, which is like such a poetic thing, because it's like, we're saying goodbye to Halerska, they're saying goodbye to Halerska. But yeah, I feel like August had, like, aside from making amends with Willem, which was very important to him, I have to say, I think August had the shittiest ending. Poor August. But we have Christina and Dad show up, and she's like, you know what, I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you enough. I wasn't there for you. I'm really, really sorry for that. I'm going to try to be. And so I thought that was sweet, that we could at least get an acknowledgement from them that they are paying attention. Again, I like the little Eric quote thrown in, where he's like, I know Eric's done worse things, as if to say, like, I'm sick and tired of trying to be the good prince that sits in his room, that pays attention to the rules and does everything. Like, I'm starting to see that everybody's breaking the rules in their own way. So I liked that. It was like a little moment of him standing up for himself, I felt. Mick dropping off the car to Sarah. I guess what he did was, so they didn't have to have him in a scene and have like a whole conversation, he dropped the car off, and then so when Simone, Major is kicking in. I say my dog is dog, okay? My dog is dog. I guess they had him drop off the car, and when Simone was like, Dad, he just said that because he saw the car, so he thought it was his dad, but it was just the car. But I thought that was sweet too. Like, you two have this and travel the world. And I love the conversation that she has with Simone about it, where she's like, you know, just because somebody might, I forget how she said it exactly, but like, just because somebody might not be a good person doesn't mean you don't need them, right? Like, all the good moments and all the happy times, like where they're singing in the car, where he's teaching her how to drive, like that was a good moment. That was a happy moment. That was a pure, beautiful moment of a daughter and her father spending time together. And just because, you know, he makes these bad choices, just because he can't find the help that he needs, just because he succumbs to this addiction, doesn't mean that moment should be ripped away and taken away. And so I think it was really, really nice where they're like, he's like, you were right, and she's like, no, I think you were, you know, and I understand that now, and it's just, I thought that was a beautiful moment. Ayub and Rosh are helping Simon throughout this whole thing, trying to give him advice, trying to tell him, you know, how they feel and what they think is right. And, you know, if you need to move, but don't do it because you're running away from Willem. They've been good friends throughout the whole thing. So we had some really nice moments with them throughout the whole episode. But this is what I didn't like. This is the one thing I didn't like, that I understand why it happened. Ew, I got water on me. I understand why it happened, but I wish they did it slightly differently. So they, like, struck up this thing between Stella and Frederica in season 2, right? We're all supposed to be hush-hush about it. We see that Felice finds out about it after the party. She wakes up and she sees them. She's like, oh. I wanted to explore that more. And I got really excited that they started that up in season 2. But then in season 3, what they did was they just used it as a mechanism to create a divide between the two classes, to make them kind of fight. So we have Ayub and Rosh go to the camping trip with a bunch of their friends, and Stella, maybe, I don't know who went up to who first. Now, I was gonna say Stella did, but now I'm starting to think Rosh did. Regardless, Stella and Rosh start dancing. You can see that they're kind of interested in each other. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is cool. But like, I thought you were into Frederica. And then I'm thinking like, is Stella doing this to get Frederica jealous? Is she doing this because like, she actually is interested in Rosh? Is she doing because she's drunk? Like, what is the reason, right? But they were like full on like interested in each other, and then they made it a point to show like Frederica get jealous and kind of like make fun of Rosh, and Stella be like, oh, like I think she's cool, and go and like sit by her and stuff. Now I think she 100% was doing it to get Frederica jealous, because Ayub and Rosh come to the party, and Rosh goes up to Stella and she's like, hey, how are you? And she's like, oh, who let you guys in? You don't even go here. What the fuck was that? And then I felt so bad. I broke my heart because Rosh looks at Ayub. She's like, is my radar off? Like, what? And then he's like, calm down. She's like, no, like, is my radar off? What the hell? This girl just danced with me for like a whole night and was like showing interest, and now all of a sudden she's like, who let you in? And now what pissed me off is I thought we were gonna come back to that. I thought something was gonna happen where like Stella and Frederica were gonna get freaking punch thrown on them or something. Or like I wanted them to feel something. I wanted them to see that what they were doing was negative, what they were doing was wrong. I wanted like a repercussion for them, right? Because again, when they find out Halerska's being closed, they're like crying and they're like, oh my god, this is horrible. And I literally send the reaction, yeah, repercussions suck, don't they? But it's like then they got a big party and now they get to go to New York. And so I think what the point was, I think what their point is some people will never learn, right? You have people like August, you have people like Willem, you have people that come from these walks of life that have so much money and so much privilege and so much awarded to them, or not awarded, given to them. And you sometimes they will do good with it, and sometimes they will acknowledge that privilege, and sometimes they will learn that they can just be a better person, but sometimes you won't. And that's people like also like Felice. You know, Felice has always been a good person pretty much, but you have these people that choose to put themselves in these certain positions or associate themselves with certain people or do just good with their life and with their money and what they have. But then people like Stella and Frederica never learn because their school is being closed down because of their actions and the things that they did, and their first initial reaction was to cry and say how unfair it was to pick on Felice, to say it was all her fault, and then immediately go and be like, what are you doing in my boarding school? Get out of here. Like, they will never learn. They will never learn. But I get that. I guess that's the point. But it pissed me off because Ayub and Rosh have been such good people throughout this whole thing and have always been there for Simon. So to see them get treated like it and have them just be like, well, it's rich kids, rich privilege. It just made me feel, but I guess that's the point too, where it's like you're always gonna have like a higher class shitting on a lower class, and it just didn't feel good to me. I wanted to feel good, but I guess that was again the point. I know I keep saying that, but we had good things and we had bad things happen throughout this whole thing. We have Willem and Simon get back together. We have Felice and Sarah make amends. We had Sarah and August break up, and then we had Stella and Frederica treat Ayub and Rosh, like, crap. It's like, you got to take the good with the bad. Nothing's going to be perfect. I always talk about all the time in TV shows or movies or books even, that, like, sometimes I want a picture perfect happy ending, but sometimes I do want a realistic one. And sometimes I don't want everything to be perfect, because that wouldn't actually happen. And I think it's kind of dangerous, and it does people a disservice to always get a perfect ending. Like, to make it a little real but not so hurtful is a better option, I feel. But I don't know. I was, at the same time, I'm like, I wanted them to get I don't know why I keep going back to, like, Punch, like a drink in the face or something, like, to cover, just, like, pour punch on them, ruin their outfits, they're in white, I don't know, but that was probably, like, the only thing that I could think of at this moment right now where I'm like, yeah, I disagree with that. I wish something was a little different, but, like, everything else was perfect. And we heard from everybody too. Like, we saw the headmistress, we heard from Farima. I love that he hung up on her when he just, like, they're not coming, whatever. Hung up on him. Like, I'm not gonna put so much care into it. So then last but not least, of course, we have to talk about Willem and Simone. We get the confirmation at the beginning of the episode that they are broken up. We get all these little conversations kind of littered throughout, or these little looks and glances from afar. And at the end of the day, it's what has been the problem the whole time. It's the royal family. And so Simone says this to Willem. I didn't give up on you. I gave up on the royal family. Like, I feel like I loved the song that he gave him. I love that he changed it and tweaked it and perfected it to really truly apply to Willem in their situation. I want to see, remember when you told me you'd be free? I want to see you be free. I want to see you be who you are one day. We were a revolution. Love shouldn't be a revolution. Like, all these lyrics, these beautiful, beautiful lyrics that really apply everything to their situation. Also, side note, love that they played Simone's song. At first, I was like, are they gonna do it? Or are they gonna play it? I don't know. And then they all sang it, and his face, and, like, August smiling. I was like, oh my god, this is so sweet. I love this. I love this. I love this. But, yeah, all these lyrics in this song, and it's like, Willem, you still don't freaking get it? Like, I just want to shake him. It's like he didn't have time to think about anything else except the crown. And then he's finally getting there where he's like, oh, yeah, it wasn't saying no to me. It was saying the crown, but I think he associated himself with the royal family. Like, he's like, I am the royal family. Like, now he can finally separate the two. He can finally differentiate, like, where he starts and where they start, and where he ends and where they end. And so I like that the conversation with his parents went the way it did. Like, listen, you've heard me outburst, you've heard me get upset, but we've never actually talked about this. I don't want to be king. Like, there's a difference between being like, I don't want to do this when you're an angsty teen, and being like, no, I don't want to do this. I've thought it through, and I've realized that this isn't who I am, and this isn't who I want to be. And I've been saying throughout this whole series, August is the perfect specimen for this. I said it at the birthday party. He knows who to talk to. He knows the people's names. He remembers things. He wants to be there. He sits all prim and proper. He knows the etiquette. He knows the lingo. He is the person that wants, or at least wanted to, do this. He is 1,000 times better at this than Willem will ever be, and that's no disrespect to Willem, because he doesn't want it. If he tried, he probably would be good at it, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't want it. And so he finally figures that out, and he says that, and then Christina's like, you know what? I'm sick of fighting. We just made up, we're on good terms. You're right, actually. August is the one, so fine, let him go. So he goes, and again, August kind of sees him do that, like, oh god, I guess it's me. And, he quite literally runs to Simone's car. I don't know why. I feel like I'm getting, like, deja vu of that situation. Did that happen in one of the previous seasons, or am I thinking of another show? I react to, like, 1,000 different shows. So I'm like, I can't remember if I'm mixing it up with another one, but I feel like that happened. Like that was like a throwback to this, but to another scene. But anyway, he literally runs after the car, which I thought was so cute. You see Simon see him, and then it's like, do I stop? Because we basically said everything that we had to say to each other. So do I stop and see, or do I just keep going? And he stops, of course, because we all know that they love each other and that they can't let each other truly go. They're just trying to be strong. Like, there's a difference between breaking up with someone because you don't want to be with them anymore and breaking up with them because you don't think you can. And that's kind of like what happened with Sarah in August. She wants to be with him. She just doesn't think that she can right now. And so he stops and he says, I gave it all up for you, baby, come kiss me. I gave it all up. I don't want to be king. I told my mom, she's fine. I want you. I love you. Everything that we have all been holding our breaths for and waiting to hear come out of his mouth. And I just love it. He's like, do you still love me? He's like, what do you think? Like, of course I do. Of course I do. And they kiss, and I just, oh, I love it. I love this ending so much, because you can't have somebody just be like, and make a decision. You have to see the progression. You have to see the character development. You have to see the highs and the lows and the struggles and the screams and the breakups and everything in between to get to this point of where you are at. And he made it. Willem made it with the threat of losing who he knows is the love of his life. And so I just love this last moment here. They kiss, they hug. Sarah and Felice made up. They're together. They get out of the car like, come on, let's go. And they all drive away together. And it is just perfect. It is absolutely and utterly perfect. I literally am trying to like rack my brain, look at the characters and think like, I had to have missed something. But we saw everybody. We saw Linda. We saw everybody. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Oh my god, it was such a good ending. Overall, fantastic episode. Fantastic series. I would watch another 10 episodes of this, or 10 seasons rather. I almost felt like the way that they were ending things with August made me feel like they could go off and do like a whole thing with just him, but like I don't know. Why is this not trending on top 10, by the way? I noticed that the other day. How is it not trending on top 10? It's absurd. Like, this needs to, like, come on. Come on, we got to get this trending, because it's such a wonderful, awesome, amazing show, and I had such a fun time doing this series. I mean, what heartfelt characters, situations. I mean, oh, I loved it. I'm going to stop talking, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this, throw it up on YouTube, and then I'm going to react to the documentary. I feel like I want to edit it first, and then do the documentary, because I want to let everything really truly soak in and watch it a second time. So I guess that's it. Thank you all for joining me on this Young Royals series journey. Don't forget that seasons 1 and 2 are fully unedited on Patreon, as is season 3. I love all y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next reaction, so long everyone. Try and make someone smile today. You never know when they might need it next. Bye.